What's up guys, Joe Testador here again with Resurrected Metal. You know, sometimes when you're into Resurrected Metal and you're into fixing things and working on projects, sometimes you choose the project. Other times, the project chooses you. That's the case we've got here today. The jet has been giving us a little problem and telling us it needs some TLC and some attention. So we're going to get in there, do a tune-up, oil change, just get things running right again. I thought I'd throw this in there, a little something different than the motorcycles. You know, you can see I like to get my hands dirty. Again, maybe some encouragement for you to do the same. So check it out. Let's see what we can get done on this puppy. Now when you're changing the oil on this car or any car, it's pretty simple. Basically you want to find the drain plug and you want to find the oil filter. You're going to take both of those off and wait for all the oil to drain out. You're going to make sure you're going to have something to catch the oil in. You're definitely going to need some rags and paper towels and stuff nearby, because no matter how hard you try to keep it clean, it's still going to get all over. Also make sure that you loosen the fill cover at the top where you put the oil in. That way air can get in and it can allow the oil to drain out quicker. It's always good to do it when the engine's a little warm too, because the oil is going to flow a little smoother. So that's the next step here, and we're going to get dirty. Now in this car I've got a magnetic drain plug, which if they make one for your car I recommend you get it. There's a little magnet at the end. It traps all kinds of little bits and fragments of metal that are floating around in there that could go and damage the inside of your motor. So if you can get one of those, get it. When you change the oil, you clean it off and you'll see all kinds of little grit and stuff on there. But that's good. Also make sure on yours, if there is a washer, you replace that washer every time, because it's you're going to crush it into place and it's going to make a solid fit and seal, and you want to change that every time. Now this is the fun part, the actual oil filter itself. This is where it gets messy. Now it's always important when you're putting the new filter in that you wet the seal on the filter, on the new filter, with fresh clean oil, not the old stuff. Take a little bit on your finger, wipe it on the seal. That's going to make sure that you get a tight seal and you don't get any leaks when you tighten up the filter. Now in most cars this is just going to be hand tight, pretty much as tight as you can get it by hand, because once it heats up and that seal expands, you're not going to get any leaks. Any tighter than that, you risk having leaks coming from the oil filter. Now you can put your drain plug back in with your new washer. Make sure that's tight. And after you're all set with that, you're ready to put new oil in. Simple. And try not to put your head in the oil that's spilled on the ground. Alright, now that we're up here at the top of the engine, it's time to put the oil in. So you locate your filler cap, make sure you clean off around it, you don't want any crap going in there. And then you put your oil in. Now, on this show you'll see me recommend products and things like that, or places where I get parts from. They're not endorsements, they don't pay me to say this, probably because nobody knows about me at this point, so nobody's going to pay me to use their products. If I tell you to use something, it's because I use it myself. You know, if you like it, you can use it too. And I just tell you the places where I found the best deals and the best customer service on parts and things like that. So the oil that I tend to use, this is a Volkswagen, it's German. I like to use this stuff here from Pentasyn. It's called Pentaspeed. It's made in Germany. It's one of the best oils you can put in this car. I get it from a company called ECS Tuning. You can find them on the internet. I usually get almost all of my Volkswagen parts from them unless they're out of stock on something. Their shipping is pretty fast, and their customer service is great, so it makes it easy. I always like to find a place that I can continue to do business with. It just makes your job a heck of a lot easier when you're going to look for parts and things like that. So if you can develop a relationship with a shop or a supply house or an internet retailer or whatever, try to do that so that you feel comfortable going back to that place and getting the best parts you can. So now we're going to fill this up. Now, of course, after you do this, you always want to put the cover back on, start up the engine, let it run for a minute, turn it off, wait another 30 seconds or a minute, and check the level of the oil to make sure you've got it right. So that's it. You just changed your oil. Now, one more thing to remember before you check the dipstick, make sure you put the car back down, make sure it's on level ground, so that you don't throw off the reading on the stick. Alright, next we're going to jump into changing the spark plugs. Now this car has what are called coil packs. Each spark plug has its own individual coil, so we have to unscrew those, pop those out. In some cars they just pop off, and then we're going to take out the spark plug inside, gap it, put it back in, and put the caps back on and plug them back in again. Pretty simple operation. See that? That's an old spark plug right there. Time for a new one. Now some cars aren't as sensitive, but these Volkswagens with the 1.8T, the turbo motor, they happen to be very sensitive to spark gap and also how tight the spark plugs are torqued in there. So you want to make sure you get everything right. Make sure you know the specs for your spark plugs and you check the gaps. Never trust the way they come from the store. And then make sure you have a good torque wrench, torque them down to the manufacturer's specs, and you should be good to go. So that's it. Our tune-up and oil change are done. The only thing left to do is take this baby for a spin. We'll get back to the bikes, and we'll see you next time on Resurrected Metal.